Because you're so tall, it would probably be a mini skirt for you.
Hello and welcome to Surviving the Apocalypse, the Nerd's Way. I'm Adam.
And I'm John.
And today we have a special new guest. Although, I must admit, we have a ton of guests recently. We're just bringing in everybody, and it's fantastic.
Well, what happened is we ran out of content, so now we just bring in other...
Shh, don't tell anybody that. Good gracious, we're going to be professional and awesome, John. So yes, our new guest, we have played his song on the... episode 4, I believe it was, on Surviving the Apocalypse, the Nerd's Way.
Good memory.
Boom.
Whoa.
That's right, yeah.
I just got outdone.
Mr. Josh Blackwell, how are you today?
Great. Good to be here.
That's a lie. So the first one for the evening.
He's already looking at the door, trying to find his easiest way to escape.
Edging my way to the door.
I've got throwing knives, and I know where a calf is. So, yes, welcome to Surviving the Apocalypse, the Nerd's Way.
Thank you so much.
Hey, this is good. So, we are going to be treated, later on, to one of your songs.
Yes, that is right.
It's my favourite song. I've had a sneak preview of the CD.
Yes, so this is off my new EP, which is coming out very soon.
Ooh, can't wait. So you say new EP, so there's another EP.
Yes, so there is this is EP 2.0. The first one was called Cry of a Nomad. That came out last year. So yeah, we're a few days out from number 2.
That's interesting. Cry of a Nomad. I feel like that applies well to Surviving the Apocalypse, because eventually we all will be nomads.
Yes.
That's it. Everybody's homes will be destroyed.
Oh, man.
Jeez, that's nihilistic, but that's my job. No.
Adam, we don't need you anymore.
Yeah,
you can go. Just
see you later, guys.
See ya.
No, but I guess you're right. I mean, never fortify in a zombie apocalypse, because eventually you're just going to get overrun. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, the dead do not sleep, so they're just going to keep pounding on your defenses day in and day out.
So the other fact about Josh Blackwell is he actually previously was the host of a radio show.
This is true. I used to be a Saturday morning announcer for 98.5.
Oh my goodness.
That's
so basically...
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
They go by 2 names.
Do they?
Well, people call them the 98.5 or Sunshine FM.
Family.
Yes, we're family.
So how do you rate the experience of doing a podcast compared to being live on air?
It feels good. It feels at home.
Okay.
It's much the same.
Okay.
Except
so do you feel like you're
totally not prepared about anything?
Oh, yeah.
Neither were we.
So you did most of your shows on top of a kitchen table with microphones balanced on old boxes?
No, not quite.
They had their proper equipment, but that's all right. We're a podcast. That's what we're meant to do. Oh, it's good fun. So
this is called Pirate Radio.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, right, me mateys. We're going to be talking like this for the rest of the episode.
Oh my goodness.
We're not actually.
Oh, thank goodness, because I can't hold that for very long.
I want to hear your pirate voice, John.
Yes, my matey. I went on my ship. No,
that just sounds Scottish.
Every accent that I do turns into a Scottish one. I don't know what it is. It's like I even tried to do an Australian accent, and I'm from Australia. Well, it goes into a Scottish accent.
Well, I mean, there are all sorts of... There's Sudanese pirates. There's all kinds.
Oh,
yeah, true.
I guess.
Yeah.
You're just a Scottish pirate.
Yes.
Yeah, fair. And what's your... I was about to say Scottish accent. Thanks, John. You've ruined me. So, what's your pirate accent like, Josh?
My pirate accent. I believe if I was a pirate, I would speak just like this.
Oh. Excuse me, gentlemen. I would like all your loot. Yes, thank you.
I will be commandeering your ship.
That's a gentleman pirate. I like it. I think they're actually called privateers nowadays.
Yes.
So yeah, that's I like that. That's cool. Pirates. But I've lost now because I'm just thinking about pirates now.
That was a massive tangent. I'm sorry.
Well, no, I guess we know a bit about Josh. He has 2 EPs. He plays every instrument under the sun.
Minus the bagpipes.
Oh, well,
I'm guessing since
here.
You're Scottish, you must play them.
I legit have bagpipes.
Really?
I bought some in Scotland. Because
Wow.
I'm not actually Scottish, although I do the perfect Scottish accent. I'm sure you agree.
Yeah. Fooled us.
Okay. My parents are Scottish, so I went all the way back to the homeland, and they're very big on their clans there. Everything's clan related, so you can literally buy things from just a corner shop that are printed with the tartan of my clan that I come from.
Did you have a kilt?
I don't have a kilt.
Okay.
Otherwise,
It would probably, because you're so tall, it would probably be a mini skirt for you.
Yeah, that's right.
When he goes out on the town in a kilt, people whistle. Yeah.
It's an interesting experience for everyone. But I do have a cashmere scarf.
Okay.
Because I bought the synthetic one. What are you laughing at?
A cashmere scarf. Oh, I do say. Brilliant.
No, I went out and I was like, oh, I need to find one from my family, a scarf from my family. And I found this one, but it was just made out of synthetic materials.
Yep.
Later on, I found my family scarf, but in cashmere. And the first scarf felt fine before, but after touching this cashmere one, it felt all itchy and like...
Oh, wow.
So I had to buy the cashmere one.
Goodness.
That's fair.
What was
So bagpipes? Yeah, he plays every instrument under the sun except bagpipes through Scotland and to scarves somehow.
All right, before the end of this episode, we've got to get out the bagpipes and see how you do.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh my goodness, that's going to be so great. But yeah, I do envy the musical talent of others because, well, you know, I don't have a musical bone in my body. I can hum a tune. That's basically...
Just some microphone fell away there.
That's usually me.
I was so flattered that I knocked my microphone out.
Oh, wow.
When I flatter people, it knocks them off their damn feet. So yes,
Are we allowed to say that on the podcast? No, that's probably fine.
I think I'd say that's PG. I mean, that's in Disney movies, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
If there are any people listening that take offense to that, please Twitter me. Yes, Twitter me, because I'm an 85-year-old man who doesn't know how to use internet linguistics. Please tweet me and say that I'm terribly, terribly wrong in saying so. I relish in your hate. So, radio host.
Yes.
So walk us through, because I wouldn't really want to do radio, but I do like voiceover work and stuff like that. But, you know, I'm going to draw parallels between the two.
Good.
So what is the average day of a radio host, a Saturday morning radio host?
Well, it's only a 3-hour day.
Well, that's not too bad.
Maybe 4 at a push.
Oh, wow.
It involves coming in, making yourself a coffee, and then sitting with your co-host and talking about your week.
Right.
Off air to... scrounge some content
Right.
before your show starts.
John, what have you been doing this week?
Work.
Boring. Nobody cares. I have been slaying dragons. I've been kidnapping princesses because I'm basically a villain. But I return them afterwards because, you know...
Yeah, good.
I don't need a hero bursting in my door.
Annoying.
Yeah.
Most of the
Triggering
time.
all my traps. And I hunted a Yeti.
Have you got a moat?
I don't know. I need one of those. A moat would be good, let's face it. The Yeti and I became friends and went out for beers. It was great. So that's, no content there.
So now that's, so we'll try and find an interesting anecdote from my computer programming job then.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah. So,
And then you basically do the show.
Right, okay.
The first thing you do in a radio show is the weather.
Oh,
You talk about the weather, which actually when you do a pre-recorded show, you can't do.
Oh, really?
Let's talk about the weather now.
You definitely can't say the current temperature.
The current temperature on, what's today? The 8th of May, 2018, in Perth, Western Australia, is some degrees, which I don't...
17.
There you go. It is 17 degrees Celsius, not Fahrenheit, because, well, went on the imperial system.
So,
Yes.
to literally all our listeners, except for the one guy who time travels forward in time to listen to the episode ahead of time,
Yes.
that information was useless.
Yes, indeed.
But on the radio, it's
Yes.
actually useful because you can
handy.
say what's happening right now.
It is handy. I mean, it's strange though because most people listening are in their car, and so you would assume they could see what the weather is.
It's raining. Oh my goodness.
And the other thing is they're probably already driving on the way to wherever they're going, and it's too late to get an umbrella
Exactly.
or
Yeah.
winter coat.
I always
That's
have an
it.
umbrella in my car. Always.
Good. That's very smart.
Yeah, well, it's just to beat off any would-be people, you know. Just like, away from I'm too famous for you. Peasants.
More of a weapon.
Yeah, essentially.
Yes.
Yeah, trip people up with it. Yeah.
By the way, that was number one. Adam is only allowed to say the word peasants on the podcast 2 times per episode.
We should have a coin jar if he goes
yes.
past.
No, he beats me.
Yeah, we get a bamboo stick and whack him, which
Okay.
I'll let you do that.
I wouldn't dream of it.
See that glint of just, like, desire in his eyes? Yeah.
Okay, so he just fluttered his eyes just then.
Oh, brilliant.
It's a pity we don't have a video version of this podcast.
That was wonderful. Okay, so, yeah, right. So that's the radio. So, John, that's what we're going to... What we'll do, right, is we'll just burst in the doors at, like, 98.5 or 92.9 or whatever, and just take over the show for half an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. They couldn't stop us.
Tell them that the world's ending.
Yeah, but, my goodness, the apocalypse is happening. I need to tell people.
We're the only ones who know how to handle this.
It's true. We have a podcast. Believe me, we're the professionals.
I have one last question for you, Josh, before we move on. What is the most embarrassing thing / scary mistake that has ever happened on air?
Oh, that's good.
Oh, okay. On air.
Maybe you were a perfect host and nothing bad ever happened.
He's a perfect man. Let's face it.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
there have been plenty. But the thing is, one thing you learn about radio is that everything is content, even the mistakes. You can make a whole talker out of a mistake.
Right.
Like, you're talking to your co-host, and then you realize that their microphone has been switched off for the last minute. And so you've just been having a monologue.
Oh, wow. I like it. That's
the
cool.
listeners have just heard one side of a conversation.
I like that.
And then you just have to make light of it.
That is pretty much our podcast. It's just me talking, essentially. We have said on the podcast before that it's not Surviving the Apocalypse the Nerd's Way. It's Surviving the Apocalypse Adam's Way.
So you did say my listeners before.
I did say my listeners because I love them all.
Well, yeah, because we got a shout out on the podcast last week, and I went back to Nagging Balls gave us a shout out. I went back and listened to it, and they were like, "Oh, Adam's so great. His voice is amazing. He has this podcast." They didn't mention me once.
It's true.
Now, no hard feeling, guys, if you're listening. But I must admit, I was a little disappointed. But you're right, Adam is the main attraction. And it's not as if the hours that I spend editing the episode mean anything at all.
What editing? I mean, it's just a print play. I don't know what you do. It's
print?
I don't know. We have a transcript, okay? No. This could not be scripted. Right, so what would be your most fatalistic mistake? Not fatalistic, that's terrible. What's the biggest mistake you've ever made?
Well, that one that I just said would have been definitely one of them.
Was that you turning with your microphone off?
I think so. Yes, I believe so. There have been other times where we thought, there's one song left. Let's go make a coffee.
Oh, wow, okay.
And you forget that the music playing in the studio and the music playing in the rest of the station, there's a 7 to 10 second delay between.
Oh, right.
So we got a little bit relaxed.
Yeah.
And at what point did you realize you needed to...
And then in the radio software, there's a thing called a pause, where you drag in between songs, so it stops the system from playing through the songs. So then the next thing, there's just silence.
Oh.
And I never knew I could run so fast.
I like it. I remember on Hamish and Andy that I think they were off doing something, and Cackling Jack was in the studio. And he turned down the volume, like the output for everything, and it was dead air for like 30 seconds.
Ooh.
He didn't realize an emergency program kicked in to cover that. So that was actually quite humorous.
Oh wow!
Yes.
You didn't leave that for 30 seconds.
No,
did you?
thankfully not. But yes, they do have all sorts of backup plans in place.
Okay.
What's that called? Is it an audio dump or something? So let's just say, highly unlikely that you were to say a naughty word on 98.5.
Perhaps if you had Adam on as a guest.
Highly likely. But if you were, you could audio dump that.
So there is a button on the desk called the dump button, and it basically, because of the delay between what is said in the studio and what goes to air, there is about a 7 to 10 second buffer. So basically cuts it at that point so that the previous 7 seconds are not part of what's being broadcasted.
Right. Yeah.
And it cuts it back to where you are. And I think it actually plays a jingle or something to kind of get back the buffer.
Yeah.
And then you're back on air. So you just kind of have to say, we lost transmission there, we're back.
Oh, right, yeah, cover. Have you ever had to use the audio dump before?
I have not, but I have heard of some of the other announcers.
Really?
Mostly for people calling in.
Oh, of course. No. Yeah.
Because,
all right.
there is a little bit of a gamble when you're dealing with members of the public who are calling in, who maybe have less of a filter than those working at the station.
He had his eyes on me when he said that.
Well, I've
actually been cut off before.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I was called... This is... Because everyone knows that I work nights, right? Mm-hmm. As I'm working nights, sometimes, when I'm not... If I've caught up on all my podcasts, I have no audiobooks, I like to listen to Talkback Radio. Mm-hmm. So 6PR here in Perth, WA. So, driving around and listening, and a topic came up that I wanted to, get engaged with. So I called up, and I wasn't due to swearing or anything like that. It's because I named a business. And then
that's a big no-no.
It was and it wasn't in a happy sense either, I can assure you.
All right.
But yeah, and I'm talking, and all of a sudden it's just dead silence. I'm just like, Okay, what's going on here? And so I turned the radio on to listen, and that's my voice suddenly cutting off, and he's like, oh, had to stop you there, Adam. We can't have that. I was like, son, you got some Latin.
Why
So, yeah, right, audio dump. Maybe we should get that for no other reason, just to have it.
Well, I was just about to say, this is kind of the privilege of doing everything pre-recorded. If Adam says something that he shouldn't, which has happened many times before, I literally just go in and edit it out. And now that we've got separate mics, I can literally just edit your voice out, and it sounds like it just keeps on going because I'm talking.
Yeah, that would have been real, because that was the first, 5 episodes or something.
Yeah.
We recorded on that microphone.
We would just crouch around each on one side of the mic.
We were so close that it was basically
that would have made
out.
very intimate conversation.
Yeah, it was like just looking into each other. Oh, goodness gracious me, I hated it.
So if anyone listens back to the old episodes and like, you guys just had this connection that you've lost. That's what it was.
Oh, really? Because now I don't look at him at all.
As we talked about previously on the previous segment that everyone just listened to, which feels like forever ago because we went on such a rant. Yeah. Previously on Surviving the Apocalypse, the Nerds Way. We were talking about music and how...
Josh is just like, how is this even remotely possibly entertaining or real? People like it. They enjoy listening to it.
Well, we haven't been able to scientifically prove that people enjoy it, but they do come back again.
How do you scientifically measure enjoyment?
I don't know.
I suppose you
people
probably
dilation.
You probably could do that.
I don't know, something like that.
People but is there something in the ear that expands when you hear something you like? I don't think so.
Oh, that's interesting. Unlikely. That'd be interesting.
Tyson from Screen Review Time Warp, if you're listening, tweet us and tell us.
I think this is more astrophysics, or as he likes to say, nanotechnology.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, did we get the results from that?
The results are still waiting on a vote.
Oh, I see. On a vote. Singular.
On many votes. There's about 1,000 so far.
Oh, yeah. I'll have to go in there and cast my vote as well.
You can't vote for yourself, Adam.
Watch me. I'm going to create all the accounts. Sorry, back to music.
Yeah, so we were talking about how you are a musician.
Yes.
Much like myself. Well,
not a bagpipe player.
Unfortunately not. But we're going to fix that by the end of the episode.
That's good.
So, how did it all start? How did it begin? What made you want to pick up music?
Well, the earliest moment of music, my mum told me. She said that one day I was sitting in my high chair and she was singing, and then I started singing with her.
Oh, that's cool.
And you were harmonizing in different keys.
Well, I don't know. But I was like 2 years old, and I just started singing, sitting in my high chair singing. She was like, "Huh, maybe he's got some music in him." And yeah, so when I was about 5 years old, I started learning the piano.
All right.
Wow, that's crazy. I mean, I can, like, 2 keys on the piano, you know, like a do 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 do, like the Chinese chopsticks or whatever they're called. Yeah, that's me. And you're like 5 bloody Mozart, probably flowing out all sorts of music.
I actually did see a video of a 4-year-old the other day playing Beethoven, and flawlessly. It was incredible. Mm-hmm. You have to wonder though what they've been deprived of.
Yeah. Cartoons, chocolate milk, joy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard.
Sounds like my child. No.
Oh, brilliant.
So that's what we've learned about Josh Blackwell. He wasn't allowed to watch Disney.
And chocolate milk was often taken away in the middle of piano practice.
Yeah, no.
Do you remember your first musical instrument that you bought?
Well, we had an old upright piano.
Okay.
So that was always in the house. I was always a bit of a want to do everything kind of kid.
Okay.
I don't know what the medical term for that is.
Don't look at me. Obsessive?
But I was that kid who did piano for a while. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, actually, you know what? The drums are really cool. Let's do the drums. And then I was like, well, the drums are pretty cool, but the guitar. Don't get me started on the guitar.
That's where it's at.
And then I started playing the guitar. And then it kind of just became, for the rest of my life, this like spinning plates, going back and forth, trying to keep them kind of spinning.
Yes.
Play a bit of piano for a few weeks, and then, cool, that's good. Back to drums, over to guitar. And
Jack of all trades and master of all.
Master of none. When I went to study music at uni, that brought that fact home very clearly.
Oh, right.
That there are virtuosic people out there who have, devoted their life to one instrument. And,
yes.
and there is a marked difference.
See, I've done that. I've dedicated my life to piano, but kind of like I'm still at about what you would consider average.
I'm sorry, no. Point of order. You played on a Halloween special that creepy, off-the-cuff, awesome song out of nowhere. Just pulled it out of thin air or other places. And it was glorious. It was fantastic. It was emotionally evocative. It drew you in and then punched you in the throat.
Wow.
Which is what I enjoy. So
By the way, that was just a recording I found off the internet from someone else, and I overlaid it.
Sounds about right.
And somehow I played it for you while you were there listening. Anyway.
Time travel.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So
that's
how it all started.
That's how it all started. Yeah, I was that kid.
So what's your favourite instrument then, at the moment?
Well, I don't have children. Just let me explain.
Wait, what does that have to do?
I'm sure we'll get to it.
Okay.
It's like asking a parent to pick their favourite child.
Okay, fair enough.
So I would imagine it would be. That's why I say I don't have children. So I can't say for sure. Maybe parents do have favourite children. I don't know.
So if I had
they all say they don't. But
let's say I had explosives attached to guitar, piano, violin, all your instruments, and I said you have to pick one because the rest are going to go boom.
Well, probably out of my nomad tendencies, I would choose not to blow up the guitar.
Now I will blow up the guitar.
It's gone.
Execute Order 66.
Abort. It's the most mobile instrument.
That's true. Look at, yes, we're going to go through another Name of the Wind special.
Yes.
Patrick Rothfuss's Kingkiller Chronicles. And he is a musician, the main character, Kavoth. And he plays the lute, and he does so because it is a mobile instrument.
This is right.
Maybe you're like a Kavoth, except I don't think you're a thief and running around in the night.
I do remember once stealing a Kinder Surprise.
Oh my goodness, really? Sorry, this is brilliant. Okay, yeah, all right, so Kinder Surprise. I've got a story that is going to blow your mind. Okay?
Okay.
So you stole a Kinder Surprise. I'm assuming from like a corner shop?
Yes, I think so.
Did you have anybody with you? Like, were you pressured into it?
My mum, it was with my mum, actually.
Oh, right. I don't think she was pressuring you into it.
No, she wasn't.
Get that Kinder Surprise. No, all right. Okay, so when I was 9,
yes,
I was living in Sydney and Macquarie Fields, I believe. I don't really remember, and we'll get to that. Anyway, there was these 2 twin girls that I used to hang out with and, chat, go walking in the forests or whatever, all right? And they're like, oh, we're going up to the corner shop and we're going to flog something. And I'm just like, oh, no, I don't want to do that. And they're like, no, come on, it'll be fine. So we go up. And I know. Admissions of guilt, but I'm pretty sure we're past the statute of limitations. And it was a piece of sherbet.
Wait, Adam. Mm-hmm. Can you say that again? The what of limitations?
The statute of limitations?
Oh, okay. It sounded like you said statue of limitations.
Yes, it's the statute of limitations that comes out when crime has passed. It magically appears in your home, and it's like, oh, I got away with it. So I didn't get away with it, but we'll get to that. So anyway, I get this like a little tube of sherbet, right? I don't know what the other 2 got. I have no memory of it. I do remember standing on the court, like we get out, the shopkeeper either saw us and didn't care, or he didn't see us, but I'm fairly certain that I was like really nervous, or he probably pegged me as just like, yeah, that kid's stealing sherbet, but just let me go. Anyway, we walk back down, and I remember standing on the side of the road, like at a curb, eating the sherbet. That's all I remember. Because I was hit by a motorcycle. Not even kidding.
It wasn't the shop owner? No.
Brilliant. No, but I'm fairly certain that was like karmic justice. It was just like, God's just gone, you know what? This is going to be a lesson for you. Never steal again, or else it's going to be a plane. So I've never stolen anything, ever. Horribly paranoid about it, but I like that. The shop owner, maybe. No.
Chasing you.
I'll get you for stealing a 20-cent sherbet. Oh, man. Yeah, I was unconscious for like a week or something. Oh, glorious. Man. Like not a shattered, but a fractured skull. All sorts of fun stuff. Like scars up my leg. It was brilliant.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Goodness.
It explains what's wrong with me.
And what happened to the sherbet?
Probably it is still sailing in the upper atmosphere.
It's gone into orbit.
Yeah, I mean, all I know is that the twins, because it was only me that got hit, thankfully. And I say that because I'm a sadomasochist. Oh, no, hit me again. No. So the motorcycle hit me, and the twins just freaked out and ran. I don't remember any of this. I was told, obviously, post. And I think one of them went up to my house, which thankfully was only like a minute up the street. Mm-hmm. Not even that, probably. And my mother has arthritis in both her knees, and did back then as well. And she apparently just burst out the door and ran down the street, like just crazy, crazy woman.
Wow.
Yeah, bless her, she's pure evil. But no. It was, like I said, don't have a lot of memory of that time. Pretty fuzzy. But, it was pretty interesting.
Instant justice.
Yeah, instant, like, perfect justice as well. Maybe a bit excessive, let's face it. I mean...
a little bit over the top.
I mean, 20-cent sherbet, hospital, I mean, I'm all for capital punishment, but...
Wow.
Whoa. Capital punishment with a motorcycle? No, wait, corporal punishment.
Yeah, that's something else, Adam.
Yeah, capital punishment, death for sherbet.
Electric chair.
Hang him. Off with his head.
Corporal punishment. Right.
Corporal punishment.
Oh, wow. So what we've established before we went off on that is that Josh Blackwell, because he stole the Kinder Surprise, he's Kavoth from the King Killer Chronicles.
Yes, indeed, because he can play a ton of instruments.
Now, you've probably never read this
No, I
book,
haven't.
but it's very interesting because it's written by Patrick Rothfuss, and he has never played a musical instrument in his life. But when I was reading it, I was like, finally someone gets it, what it's like to be a musician.
Yeah.
Music features quite heavily in the series.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, so many people have come to him saying this. He said, yeah, I know nothing about music. Because in fact, in one scene, he's trying to get this thing that he's always wanted. And he has to play an incredible song and wow everyone to get it. But his arch nemesis uses magic to break one of the strings on his lute. And breaks the strings, but because he's lived his life in poverty and he's never been able to buy strings for his lute, he's learnt how to play when there's a missing string. Now, after many, many edits, and it's gone out and it's a very popular book and everyone's read it, he's discovered that lutes were made with double strings like a mandolin. So if you snapped one of the strings, it'd be fine. There's a spare one right next to it.
Right.
So he knows
probably just
nothing about
imagined it
music.
as a guitar.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But he got the feeling of music.
Yes.
Absolutely perfect.
Yes, that's right. Okay. I've snapped a string plenty of times.
While performing?
Yes.
And that's on a guitar. You don't have
on a
any
guitar.
backups.
There's no, it's not a 12-string guitar either. It's,
Yeah.
So it's always a bit of a paranoia that guitarists have, I think. Especially if you're in a high pressure, like whenever I do a wedding ceremony, I have to restring it like a few days before so that I know the strings are good.
Yes, good.
I haven't had any wizards attacking me at gigs, thankfully.
Not yet.
It's quite common.
Maybe
I've
I'll go
heard.
to your next gig. And
So Adam has gotten out the Name in the Wind book right now. I'm not really sure what he's looking for.
that story.
That scene. All right. Maybe we're going to have a reading.
A live reading.
Yeah, essentially. Sit and listen well, and I shall tell you the story of how Kvoth got his pipes. Okay.
This is the audiobook segment.
Yeah.
Yes, where we read a chapter of Name of the Wind. Okay. I raised my hands to the strings and drew their attention back to me. The room stilled and I began to play. The music came easily out of me, my lute like a second voice. I flicked my fingers and the lute made a third voice as well. I sang in the proud, powerful tones of Savian Trilliad, greatest of the Amir. The audience moved under my music like grass against the wind. I sang as Sir Savian, and I felt the audience begin to love and fear me. I was so used to practicing the song alone that I almost forgot to double the third refrain, but I remembered at the last moment, in a flash of cold sweat. This time, as I sung it, I looked out into the audience, hoping at the end I would hear a voice answering my own. I reached the end of the refrain before Eloine's first stanza. I struck the first chord hard and waited as the sound of it began to fade without drawing a voice from the audience. I looked calmly out at them, waiting. Every second a greater relief vied with a greater disappointment inside me. Then a voice drifted onto stage, gentle as a brushing feather, singing. I'm not singing that, so I'm just going to move on to the next part. Savian, how could you know? It was the first time for you to come to me. Savian, do you remember the days we squandered pleasantly? How well then have you carried what? Have you tarried in my heart and memory? There you go. That's Halloween. But yeah, anyway. I'm not going on because I'm not wasting the audience time with that one.
Yeah, so at some point after that, the wizard appears.
Is it actually a wizard?
Everyone's a wizard in this.
Kinda. It's not so much magic like, boom, fireballs.
Yeah.
It's more along the lines of, it's a brilliantly explained system of magic, where it's conversion of energy.
Yeah, it's more like science than magic, really.
Yeah, the way he describes it. It's brilliant. You should read it. It's fantastic. Highly recommended.
The Name of the Wind.
Yes.
You can take it home with you if
it's
you
almost
want.
poetry.
Wow. Well, that was a brilliant excerpt there.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah,
Whet my appetite for it.
So I have one last thing on the topic of music. I have a theory, which is that you are among the least likely people in the world to have an instrument stolen, or particularly a guitar. I don't know about drums and
unless it's made of Kinder Surprise.
And my theory is because you're left-handed.
Yes.
Oh.
Correct. Left-handed.
Right.
Now, I don't know if you know this, Adam.
No.
I'm assuming you do.
Statistically, that means I'll be a president one day.
Oh. Really?
But that's not true.
I would have believed it.
There's only 7 left-handed people in the world, and they each get a turn being president.
Oh, nice.
Just cycle through.
Like of America, it doesn't matter where you're born.
Well, I mean, Barack Obama was a lefty.
Right.
John F. Kennedy?
I think he was a lefty. Kurt Cobain was a lefty, but he was not a president.
No.
It must be one of those things that's like, oh, people made fun of you for being...
I'm pretty sure there's a few. I can't think of any more.
The other thing I heard is that...
Ned Flanders. Sorry.
Have you watched the King's speech?
Yes.
So the king has a massive stutter, and they theorized that he was born left-handed but was forced to be right-handed, and that's what caused this, like...
Yeah.
I don't know. It sounds like a bit
I think that used to be a thing.
Yeah.
Like in the old days, they used to see lefties as...
I'm also tempted to break your left hand right now.
Don't do it!
Just to see if you develop a stutter.
We're never getting any other
We won't
guests.
get through the rest of the podcast.
Update us later, it's fine.
Yeah, so the left-handed guitar, of course, that means all the strings are strung the other way round so that you can play it with your left hand.
Yes.
I've actually tried to play your guitar once before, I think, and it was so confusing. I think I figured out how to do one chord, and then I was like, no.
Well, whenever I pick up a right-handed guitar, I finally have sympathy for my beginner students on the guitar, because I teach guitar as well. And, and I think sometimes I'm like, come on, it's not that hard, just play the chord. And then when I pick up a right-handed guitar, I'm like, oh, I see.
Humility,
I
yes.
understand.
Well, this is, like I said, dreadful at music, and, I will always be dreadful at music. This book, The Name of the Wind, inspired me to get a guitar to play.
Okay.
And I have quickly discovered that I'm certainly no cavote that can move a room with music. So, yes, definitely an interesting prospect of you're a master at this type of stuff, whereas your students are probably just like, my fingers don't make that movement with ease. Yeah. I think John made, what was it? You showed me 2 chords.
Yes, to complete the 4-chord structure of E minor, C, D, and G.
I know
so
G
you can
and
play
E minor.
any song in G.
Yes. That's all I know. And those 2, I don't even remember.
I taught you them.
Yeah.
And I taught you A minor as well.
Yeah, I've tried it, but I think 2 days ago, I picked up my guitar and was like, nah, it's gone.
Have you got a capo?
Yes, I do, actually.
Good.
Don't know how to use it, but I've got one.
It's handy.
Guitar.
Indeed. So, yes, left-handed guitar means people are less like... The on-sale value is harder.
Yes, well, I'm actually because of this is a side note, but international travel plans. I am looking at thinning out my musical instrument collection, which means that I need to get onto it sooner rather than later because, like you say, left-handed guitars are harder to sell.
All right.
There's not a very big market out there.
Interesting.
Well, if you can't take any with you, you can just leave them at my house and we'll keep the Gumtree page up. You can be sure that I won't be starting to play them because they're left-handed.
If any of our dear listeners are left-handed and guitarists, please contact Josh Blackwell.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll happily pass on the information.
And he'll even sign it for you.
Oh, that's good.
Actually, I don't know if he will, but...
We've just made that up, yeah. He's going to do it. Or we'll sign in his name, just be like...
Yeah, Josh Blackwell. I think it looks something like
I think
that.
that's fraud, but you know, whatever.
It looks like where you do your signature on an iPad when something, something comes in your name.
I mean, I've stolen a piece of Sherpa and got hit by a motorbike. I mean, if I do fraud, I'm sure it's not going to be a plane. I'm probably going to cause, I don't know, Yellowstone National Park to explode or something.
Whoa.
Well, I feel honored, privileged that when I stole the Kinder Surprise, there was no
no immediate justice. Yeah. Cosmic justice, yes indeed. Oh, so good.
Oh man, yeah.
Transition.
That was supposed to be the theme song. It just sounds like blowing in the microphone.
Howard Shaw would be so disappointed.
I think so.
Okay, that's actually, what is it? When the storms of winter come. Starless nights will cover day. In the veiling of the sun, we will walk in bitter rain. But in dreams, that's what it is.
In dreams.
Yes. As you may know, we're about to talk about Lord of the Rings.
Yes. Yes, we are.
You and I share a common love and interest because we have talked about it before, and that is Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
And you have recently just finished watching
I did. You know, it's a sort of trilogy that needs a rewatch.
Oh, yeah.
I believe once a year, maybe once... What's that?
At least 4 times a year.
At least 4 times a year. Okay.
For me, I love... Okay, so the first movie, right, when I was growing up, and we had a DVD player, didn't have a lot of DVDs, so I used to go up the road to a couple of people I knew, Janet and Warwick, and they had Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. That DVD essentially became mine. And I watched that at least 50 times. Easy.
Yep.
Just that one movie, because I can probably quote most of that movie. It began with the forging of the great wings. I mean, I can't even talk. I'm just going to go bash my head against a wall. Maybe that'll tidy things up. But yeah, So yeah, I love Lord of the Rings. I love what it represents. I love the story.
So good.
Gandalf is just like a badass boss.
He is. Can you do a good Gandalf voice?
Yes. Let me hold on. Depending. What would you want? Do you want the bridge on Khazad Dûm, or do you want entering the Gilded Hall of Eredin?
Surprise us.
Okay. The courtesy of your hall is somewhat lessened of late, Theoden King. And why should I welcome you, Gandalf Stormcrow? A just question, my liege. Late is the hour in which this conjurer chooses to appear. Laugh spell I name him, ill news as an ill guest. Be silent, keep your forked tongue behind your teeth. I've not passed through fire and death to bend a crooked word to the witless worm. His staff. I told you to take the wizard's staff. Somehow he turned into Gollum. But yeah, I love Lord of the Rings. Like,
so good.
Yeah.
Someone in their car is like, wait, did it switch? Am I now watching the movie? What's going on?
Is this the audiobook? What's happening?
It's so good.
But the book is not completely different, but it is certainly different to the movies.
It is.
So, like, Tom Bombadil is in it, which, I mean, you know, I like him as a character. Have you read the books?
I have read The Fellowship.
Oh, okay.
Just
well,
The Fellowship.
That's where he's in.
Yes.
Yeah, completely different, but I love all the story that is represented from Middle-earth.
Absolutely.
So, the Silmarillion, like the older days.
I have that book, but I've never been able to get past the first page.
Yeah, it is difficult because there's a lot of songs, and I'm like I said, no musician, and I don't care about damned songs, in Elvish especially.
Like a language you don't even understand. So Silmarillion, is that a prequel or a sequel to Lord of the Rings?
It's very much a prequel.
So it's way before even The Hobbit, right?
It is the beginning of creation.
Oh.
Yes. It's like Genesis.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Because I read, what's it called? Narnia. I've recently finished Narnia for the first time. Because I read it as a child, but never got back to finishing the whole thing. And that literally ends at the literal end of the whole universe.
Yeah.
Is it the same with Lord of the Rings, or is that a spoiler? I don't know.
It hasn't been released like past Lord of the Rings, as far as I'm aware. They've got like an updated type of what happened to these people. So the Legolas was building a ship to go to the Undying Lands, and took Gimli with him.
So
first
the like
dwarf.
heaven type thing, is that
Not
what it is?
so much heaven, it's where the elves kind of retreated back to.
Right.
So they came from that place, came into Middle Earth to combat Melkor, the Eldar, as they are known as, and the light of the... the Eldar.
Wow, you know your stuff.
I like
So you have read the Silmarillion?
most, not all, because once again, those damn elvish shongs. Okay, I'm going home. Good day. Those damned elvish songs make me want to tear up my own intestines and hang myself with them. Nice visual, I know. It was...
I feel like, are you okay, Adam? Do we need to like...
No, I'm wonderful.
Okay.
No, all good. But no, it's just... Yeah, I love Lord. What's your favourite scene in the movies?
Oh my goodness. My favourite scene.
Because you recently watched it.
I did. Out of the whole trilogy.
Yep, out of the whole trilogy. What's your number one favourite? I've got mine.
One scene.
Yep, one scene.
Oh my. All right, tell me yours first.
All right. We covered this in one of the previous episodes about music and movies.
Oh, yes, that's right.
And this was one of the only movies that has brought an emotional reaction out of me, like a physical reaction. I'm not talking about crying or anything like that. I'm a man. But as I'm watching it, I literally moved forward in my seat, gripping the edge of my, because I saw it in the cinema, the edge of the seat. And I just wanted to stand up and move as close as possible to the screen because it was so engaging.
Yeah.
And that is the Charge of the Rohirrim in the third
Return of the King.
Return of the King.
At
where,
to Minas Tirith.
Yeah.
I was just going to say the exact same thing.
Oh, what?
It's the perfect coupling of light and dark, good and evil.
Yeah.
You see that pan shot as it's pulling out with that swelling music as Theoden's beginning and ending his speech.
Yeah.
And you just see the cloud cover and the beams of light coming down over the Rohirrim, and then they start charging forward, and that's when I'm just moving forward because it's just the music rushed into me, and it was
so good.
Getting excited just listening. Talking about it, rather.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's definitely my favourite scene.
Yeah. And would you say that the Return of the King is your favourite of the three?
No, I actually like Two Towers.
Okay.
I do, and that has the least of my favourite character, which is Gandalf.
Yeah.
But I love the Two Towers.
Yes.
It's...
So do you fast forward the end scenes? Or do you watch
I watch the extended editions. I watch all of it.
with their extra dialogue, where they take 10 minutes to say good morning?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah.
this is actually one of my favourite scenes. Not the scene with the ensign, because I have a confession to make. I watched Lord of the Rings the first time, was the extended edition. So I've never seen the original producer's
theatrical
cut
release.
or whatever. That
Theatrical release.
But my favourite scene isn't that where they're talking to the Ents, because that is a long scene, but when they actually end up coming and they decide against all odds, sorry, spoilers, even though their race doesn't decide things for hundreds of years, they decide to help out.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's amazing.
I wonder how they got there, all of them got there so quick. So when
They have long legs. They have long legs. Come on.
Like that? They go to the Entmoot, decide not to attack Isengard, and then Treebeard comes out and he's like, these trees were my friends, and then lets out that bellow of rage, and suddenly there's and it's like, well, there's obviously a wizard hiding nearby.
Or maybe they have burrows in the woods. They can just
maybe they could tree stride through trees.
Or their root systems go down like the sentient plant, and they can grow up anywhere else.
Yep. # sentient plant.
Is Radagast in that?
Radagast. He should be. He's not, though.
It's been a while since I last seen
He's in The Hobbit.
Yeah.
He's not in Lord of the Rings. He should be in the first movie for a scene, but
because
not.
I was going to say he could be that wizard that's hiding in the forest.
Radagast the Brown just
you guys want to help now?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll teleport you there.
And that kind of works because he's a neat
fan
wizard.
theory.
I like it. Speaking of fan theories, just to make a quick divergent, right? As a whole, this is to do with Harry Potter.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
As a whole, most of the fan base agrees that the Cursed Child is not part of the canon, but they go through a whole bunch of non-canonical sources to make new canon, essentially. The fan base themselves, how houses will interact with one another, like Ravenclaw and Slytherin, and Gryffindor and Hufflepuff, or any variant of the four. And I just like that. I like when, as a group, we can all kind of band together and say, no, that's rubbish. We're not going to worry about that. And
I have a theory as to why that is.
Okay.
Because I actually saw, I'm just trying to name drop this, but I actually saw the Cursed Child when I was in England with my wife.
Yeah.
I have a theory. I think people have a tendency to reject anything that reduces the amount of imagination that they can put into it, because we've loved these books and read them all. Well, I haven't. I'm still reading them, but and there's all this, what happens after the end of the book is up to you to decide. But then all the other fan theories about during the book doesn't limit you. It enhances your experience.
Yeah, fair enough.
Whereas the Cursed Child is very much like, this happened to these people, and now these people have these person as a child, and they're doing this. Whereas before, you could just imagine it however you wanted.
They
You
all
could
lived happily ever after.
You could be Harry's child, for instance. You could imagine that it was you. I don't know.
Potential.
Wow.
Potential.
They should make a choose your own adventure edition.
Yes.
For all fiction. It should be, definitely.
How does that work for a play, though? You walk into one theatre and
This
it's
is
like,
why.
would you like to do A or B? Go into this other room?
Number 3.
I like that. That's not bad, but I highly doubt that it's cinema. I mean, not cinema. Well, plays, theatre. That's the word I was looking for. Theatre would be. That's probably why it's non-canonical in the minds of the fans, is because it was only released in theaters.
Yeah, in theatres. Yeah,
That is
where the
a literal theatre, not a movie, a literal play.
Because it sold out so we went on a honeymoon, myself and my wife. When I proposed to her that day, if we had have decided the exact dates we were in England and looked, it was already booked out. So it's just literally not possible to get tickets. But as it happened when we rocked up that day, someone had not used their tickets, and that's the only reason we were able to see it.
That's good.
So I understand when people say, "Oh, it doesn't count," because you just can't see it really.
Yep.
Same with Hamilton.
Yep.
It's impossible to see that one, but that one we have played one of the songs from Hamilton, so you can start to guess the plot. Maybe we can play a few more songs.
Maybe. One of my favourite songs ever was "You'll Be Back."
Yes.
Yeah, so good. Regardless, back to the original topic.
I was trying to see how many divergents we could do. Go from Lord of the Rings to Harry Potter to Hamilton, and then we could go to like US, like, I don't know, Confederate War, I don't know.
Jeez, all right.
So just keep splitting off. Anyway.
Lord of the Rings. Okay, so you've said the Charge of the Rohirrim is your favourite scene. What's your second favourite scene then, so we can have a bit of diversity?
Ooh, okay. I love the scene where the hobbits are on Weathertop.
Oh, okay, right.
And
that's creepy and dark.
And then they're surrounded by the Nazgul.
And I like that you said Nazgul and not ring wraiths.
And then the next thing, Aragorn just comes and whoops their butts.
Yeah.
And he throws the torch into that one dude's head.
I like it.
It's just a really cool scene.
Viggo Mortensen, who played Aragorn, Strider, a fantastic actor, especially in this trilogy. Like, he broke his toe.
He did, kicking the helmet.
Yeah, and that's the original cut. That's in the movie.
Amazing.
So there you go. There's a bit of trivia for you fine people. When you see Aragorn in Two Towers, kidnapped, yes, in Two Towers, he kicks a helmet when he comes to a mound of burning flesh, essentially.
Yes.
And that kicking of the helmet and his subsequent reaction that's an actual cry of agony and pain as he literally broke a toe. And Peter Jackson, being the man, has just gone,
keep rolling.
Yeah, keep rolling. We'll keep it.
The medics are, running to it. He's like, just wait.
Oh, so good. But yeah, it was really good. I like that. Yeah, that's a good scene. I like that. And in that scene, because Frodo puts on the ring and goes into the spirit realm.
Yes.
And sees the true visages of the Nazgul. Which I like that as well. Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, good choice. I like that.
That's good.
Yeah, cool. Confession time. Okay?
Yes.
I had a massive, massive crush on Liv Tyler.
Okay.
Who's that?
Arwen.
Arwen, yes.
Mm-hmm. She embodied...
Is that the elf, right?
Yes. The she-elf.
Yes.
She embodied literal perfection to me. And there was a girl at my high school named Phoebe. And
Phoebe from Friends?
No. She looked like Arwen.
Okay.
And I pursued her with an unrelenting I love you. I love you. It was terrifyingly terrible.
And then she was like, it won't work because I'm going to live for 1,000 years.
And I will not become mortal for you, peasant. So, number 2.
We're getting close.
Oh, dear.
So, yes, that was an actual...
So any scene with her in it, basically,
I'm there. That's my favourite. Yeah, just seeing her, I'm just like...
I remember watching some of the behind the scenes and about the elvish ears and what the makeup people had to do. And I remember one of the makeup artists stressing that the actors couldn't touch the ear once it was moulded.
Yeah.
But then there was a kissing scene where Aragorn is touching her ear.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And so I was just imagining the makeup artist pulling their hair out.
But I'm really surprised at the budget of the film. It wasn't as high as I originally thought. Because when I was a guest on another podcast, Screen Review Time Warp, I brought Lord of the Rings because I'm just like, this is the greatest movie. All your other movies that you're bringing are literal nothing compared to this. It still holds the record for the highest number of Academy Awards. Equal highest number of Academy Awards. And the only reason why they don't have more is because the first one won 11 or something like that. I think, can't remember now, but they won a ton. But the second one only won 1. And then the third one won every single category it was in.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why Two Towers only won a single Academy Award is because there was a rule in place where if you won this category the previous year, you couldn't win it in the subsequent year or something along those lines. So they were disbarred from winning those type of things. So they changed that for Return of the King so that way they could actually just have a clean sweep. Wow. I loved it. It was so good. And the stuff like Gandalf. Ian McKellen didn't actually like playing Gandalf.
Really?
No, because it's a lonely it's a lonely film experience because he's not actually there with anybody. Because he's put in post. So they have a copy of the set where he's wandering around, doing the dialogue and what have you. And the hobbits aren't there, so he has nobody to work off.
Really?
So, yeah. Especially the same thing with the Hobbit. He was close to walking off the set of the Hobbit, not out of anger, but out of professional frustration, I guess.
Wow.
He was not pleased with the process, essentially.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, in case you're wondering, Adam says it wasn't a very high-budget movie.
But compared to most...
Yeah, I was going to say, if the total budget for all 3 films, which were filmed in one go, is $281 million. So I know for Adam that's basically cheap change.
Oh,
He'd throw that away.
Well, we've brought an island as well. Yeah. Episode 2, Island Procurement. Boom! Oh! Podcast knowledge.
Your knowledge of our own podcast is outstanding.
But so it was like 200, but each movie was like 50 million or something, or 49 million. But think about what goes into that. Really think about all the costumes that were made, the actors that were paid, the extras that were paid. All these things, they add up pretty quickly. All the post stuff that has to be done. So, I love Lord of the Rings. It's my favorite. I could talk about it for hours, literal hours. So that's what we're going to do. Welcome to the extra long edition of Surviving the Apocalypse the Nerd's Way, Lord of the Rings edition.
The extended version of the Lord of the Rings stuff.
Oh, my.
So good.
So final question. And this can go for you as well, John, because you have seen it.
Okay.
Who is your favourite actor out of the movies? Who do you think did the best job?
Ooh.
For me, it's Ian McKellen. With his, the problems he had with filming, essentially, it just shows he's got acting chops.
Yeah.
I mean, him as Sauron. Well, Christopher Lee. He actually wanted to be Gandalf.
Wow.
Yeah, he auditioned for Gandalf.
He doesn't have as warm of a face, though, does he?
Yeah.
No, he's definitely
a villain
Sauron.
face.
Yeah. And interesting bit of trivia where you guys think about who you want. So, when, spoiler alert, Wormtongue stabs Sauron,
him, yep.
Peter Jackson's like, you didn't make any noise or anything like that. Bit of backstory. Christopher Lee, rest in peace, of course, he was... what did he do? He was in the army. And he was in World War II, maybe, or something like that. And he was in active duty and fought. So Peter Jackson came out. He was like, you didn't, make any noise when you were stabbed in the back. Do you know what it's like or something like that? Or can you imagine, doing it? And Christopher Lee turned to him and said, I don't need to imagine. I've been there. So I'm just like, oh my. Christopher Lee, hardcore boss.
Wow.
So yeah.
So he's been stabbed before.
Either he's been stabbed or he's done the stabbing. Or he's seen it,
Wow. Crazy.
So, yeah. Okay, so favorite actor.
Okay, Elijah Wood.
Really?
I think he did a brilliant job.
Yeah,
actually, yeah.
Okay.
Because, it's a strange role to play. You've got to be this conflicted, almost bipolar person.
I like it.
Throughout the story, and you've got to progressively become more and more bipolar to, show the ring's hold of growing on you over the course of the 3 films. I think he did a brilliant job.
Yeah, I didn't actually think of it from that perspective before. That's actually quite good. Like, if you watch it from the first movie to Return of the King when he's in the bloody volcano, Mount Doom.
Because he essentially had 2 character roles to kind of flick between and gradually progressed from one to the other.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right. John?
Well, because I only watched the extended edition, literally all my memories of the Lord of the Rings movies is just constant shots of Elijah Wood going... and then Samwise actor, who I forget the name of, is just going...
It is Sean.
Something.
All I'm thinking of is Gamgee right now.
Yeah, Gamgee.
Sean Austin.
Yes, I think you're right.
Mm-hmm. Sean Austin. I just imagine him going, "Oh, Frodo, we've got to get the ring to Mordor," and that's all I think of when I think of the movie.
I could carry it for you.
So it's definitely Sean Austin.
Share the load.
So I was kind of skeptical because I know he did a great job, but I was skeptical as to his acting skills. So I recently watched
Stranger Things.
No. What's the one with Elijah Wood in it?
Sin City.
Green something scoundrels.
No. The Douglas Adams one. We were just watching it together, and he's a detective.
Oh, you're talking about Dirk
Gently.
Yeah.
Okay, that took me a while. I watched Dirk Gently, and I was thoroughly impressed how he can play someone who's not a hobbit.
Right.
And it really opened my mind to his acting skills. So I was going to pick that one. Okay. But I have another pick, and it's Martin Freeman, who is one of my favourite actors.
No,
he didn't act in the
Lord of the Rings. He acted in The Hobbit, which I have kiboshed.
I know it's not as good. They could have made one movie, not 3. But my real choice, because obviously Martin Freeman was actually...
Notice how he's gone through 3 choices here. Rightio. So what's your real choice?
Never mind, you don't
I was
get
only
to
allowed one.
I was just agreeing with Josh for the first one. Okay,
sorry. Yep.
Is actually Ian Holm, who is playing Bilbo Baggins in the first series. Okay. And the reason is so scary when he goes to the ring.
Oh, yeah.
What?
I have to admit, I closed my eyes in that scene.
Oh, yeah. And he is actually, he's not just a creepy old, grandfather figure. He is also warm and nice in other scenes.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe they added special effects to his face for that scene.
I would imagine they did. I mean, I can't make
his eyes popped out of his head.
Eyes popped out, turned purple around the edges. Yeah, but I do that.
The point still stands is that he did a great job of it. I just wanted to pick something left of field that you guys
that's good. I like that.
Well, actually, Andy Serkis.
I was literally just going to say honourable mention to Andy Serkis.
Yes.
Oh, look at who's having 2 now, Adam.
Oh, no, honourable mention, because, he's a motion actor. So, obviously, he's real hard
is he Gollum?
Work. Yeah, he's Gollum, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was allowed to pick a CG character, but there you go.
Well, a genuine person had to do that.
That's right.
So motion capture technology. Yeah, Gollum, brilliant. Andy Serkis is a funny man as well.
Yeah.
Have you seen the MTV acceptance speech?
No.
Yeah, quite humorous.
Okay.
Not for children.
Okay.
But yeah, quite good. So honourable mention for Andy Serkis.
Yeah, brilliant.
The time has come. One could say that we're already up to this bit of the podcast, which is a funny joke, except for the fact that no one listening knows what on earth I'm talking about. We're going to listen to one of the songs from Josh's upcoming EP, which is called Already Home. See what I did there? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, very good.
I should have done that in the other order.
No.
But this song, as I said, I have had the pleasure of listening to these in advance because I'm going to be supporting Josh for the release on Thursday, which is probably the day this came out. So sorry you missed it. But you can still get the EP. It just came out. And this one is by far my favorite. So I thought I'd share it with all of you guys. Adam has never heard it before because there's actually a falling microphone in the room.
It is an apocalyptic scenario. Hold on, maybe I'll try and fix
Guys,
it for you.
there's an earthquake. There's an earthquake.
No, okay, so let's go. Wait, no, stop that. There we go.
Much better.
There we go.
I think I actually just pulled on the cable.
Oh, right.
In excitement.
He's like, yes, my song's being played on Surviving the Apocalypse in Nerdsway.
And now we know this has been a long goal of you for many years to get on this podcast.
Yes, hence the falling microphone.
Who's done professional radio, who's probably going to be on 98.5, but, this is definitely the top of the game here.
Honoured.
All right.
It's almost time for me to make the call, to feel that through it all and fight to know the tug-of-war that takes place in my head. My thoughts are left a mess and I'm out of time, and my expectations wait ready to pounce, but I'm just left frustrated. Maybe I'm miles off. Am I so right already? Oh, yeah. And am I so right? I know you know. Yeah. So show me where to go. Show me where to go. Now it seems this road has finally reached a fall. The follow in my nose won't cut it, 'cause there's so much talk of possibilities that linger in the clouds, predicting whether I can tell which way to walk. But am I so right? I'm already am I so right? Oh, you know. So show me where to go. Yeah. Show me where to go. I guess deciding what you're gonna say before you've even said it makes the question void, and the good advice I hear is never solved. The questions that I'm holding in my heart. Oh, am I so right already? Am I so right? I know you know. Yeah, so show me where to go. Show me where to go. Yeah, yeah. Show me where to go. Show me where to go. Yeah.
Brilliant. Loved it. However, I do have a question.
Yes.
So, when we were listening to the song, I asked you who's doing the backup vocals.
Yes.
Because I thought it sounded awfully feminine.
Well, because I didn't have as big a budget as Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Oh, you don't have it? I can give you a spare 280 million, man.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I had to double up,
Yeah.
wear a few hats.
Yeah. So,
in the production of the EP.
so just to point out, that wasn't a female
No.
humming along in the background.
No.
That was you.
That was me.
I must say, that is...
I had to channel a higher, less masculine sounding voice.
So I have a challenge for you.
Yes.
Can you talk in that higher feminine voice?
Well, yes, I can.
Oh my god, this is brilliant and creepy! I love it! Okay, we shall call this one Priscilla. Alright, have you got any questions for Priscilla, John?
So what is going through your mind? So you've just recorded the primary take.
Yes.
And you had to answer this in Priscilla's voice. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
You've just made your primary take and
She's
you're
just
like,
gone
that's
to
good.
get a coffee.
She did just walk out the door, yeah.
So then it's like, it's time to record the high harmonies.
Yeah.
Is there anything that goes through your head to prepare yourself? Do you have to stand in a different way? How does it work?
I tend to use my hand a lot more when I'm doing, like, to draw.
Hand?
Wait,
we're talking about singing, right?
Priscilla uses her hand.
This is going to be a thing now, isn't it? Every time you go to record a song and you've got high harmonies to do, you're going to go, right, I need Priscilla. Time to channel Priscilla. Someone get me a chai latte.
Just name the channel that in software. It's like Joshua, Priscilla.
So Priscilla does like to use her hand
How
a
does
little
that...
bit to kind of draw the melody that she's attempting to harmonize with. To kind of, I don't really know.
Bring it out into physical space.
Just to
Visualize
generate the energy of the melody that you're harmonizing with. She uses. I've seen her use her hand.
I love it. It's brilliant.
Yes.
Yeah, right. I'm literally interested now because I don't understand a lot of music linguistics or anything like that. I'm not a huge musician. Like, if I like a song, I will listen to it, and like it becomes one of the 15 songs I'll listen to on repeat forever. Right? But I actually like hearing the process of... because I can just imagine you standing in a recording booth. I was about to say radio booth then, but that would be weird. Like you channeling Priscilla and doing that type of hand movement while singing into the microphone to create those high melodies and high harmonies or whatever you call it. It's actually really, really fascinating.
Yeah, so that's part of the process.
Yeah,
and she does make an appearance. She didn't make the credits list, unfortunately.
Oh.
She wanted to remain anonymous, so she won't be happy about this podcast.
That's all right. So Priscilla, thanks for obviously coming in for that quick line there. Very much appreciate it.
I'll edit out another name over the top and it will be Priscilla, but everyone will think that's the name we've been using this whole time, but that was me editing it over every other time we said her actual name, which is Priscilla. Well, I had to edit it over.
Yeah, you edited that one as well.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, so what was your... just talking about this specific song, what's your inspiration for this specific song?
Yeah, so this song's called Already Home, and obviously it's on my second EP. My first EP was called Cry of a Nomad, which was a lot about wrestling with restlessness in the journey of life, and wrestling with feelings like you don't belong, like the status quo doesn't resonate with you, that kind of thing. And Already Home is a song that kind of talks about finding a sense of inward home in external circumstances that are ever shifting and unpredictable and, make you feel restless.
That's
but
amazing.
To find an inner rest and an inner sense of home.
Wow. Okay, well, you've sold me.
Yes.
I'm a terrible human being, and I did not buy your first CD because I'm a terrible human being.
Okay.
But I'm actually going to buy both because the way you sold that, and I think some of our listeners will actually get on board with that because... Like you said, like the first one was, wrestling with the status quo, like restlessness and things like that. The just being upset with, not upset, but, not being pleased with what's going on in life, essentially. Yep. So, roaming around like a nomad.
Yep.
And then finding a sense of security and self within Already Home.
Yeah.
Which I like. I like the way you've described that.
Yes.
Horrible. I'm so easy to sell to. It's dreadful. We'll get back to that in a moment because as this podcast is essentially about tangents.
Yes.
We went to... Have you ever been to Stefan's Books? That's another free book for us.
You mentioned that place recently.
Yeah, Stefan's Books.
I've never been there though.
Oh, it's amazing. Stefan, you talk to him for hours.
Okay.
He's a brilliant guy.
Has he read every book in his shop?
It would not surprise me. Not even kidding. We went in there and I'm like, he was in a conversation with someone else. And I was talking with one of my other friends that was there, and I'm just like, I need, like, God's grave. I wonder where it is. He probably didn't even break eye contact with the people he was talking with. He's literally just gone, bleep, pulled it off the shelf. Obviously, people can't see this at home, but he's literally just reached behind him, pulled a book off the shelf, and handed it to me while continuing the conversation. I'm just like, this guy's a wizard.
Wow.
This guy's like some type of dark sorcerer that this is his, like, torment of power right here.
Goodness.
Brilliant guy, though.
Wow.
As I probably just, made people scared of him. You should be. He's just, raging with literary power. Like he knows all the books in that shop. It's crazy. But we went up there and he was away on holidays and there was, surprise, a woman there who's surprisingly easy to upsell to me. But wonderful lady. We had a chat for, solid 40 minutes about all these series. Good fun. So Sarah, the Myrmidon at Stefan's Books. I hope she might be listening as well. Thank you for those recommendations. I'm very much enjoying The Lies of Loch Lamora. Back to Already Home.
Yes.
So the EP itself is called Like a Child.
Yes,
Already
it was.
Home is the fourth track.
It
and
is
my
the final
favorite
track.
The final track. My favorite track. It's good to end on a high note.
Yeah.
Question. What does EP stand for? I don't know.
Extended play.
Oh, right.
Yes. So there are many, well, not many, but there are some different titles for music releases, and they generally are decided by the length of how many songs. So like a single is obviously one song. An album, you think of, around 10, 12 songs.
Yep.
Maybe you can get away with 8 sometimes.
Or you can go all the way to 20
or you
if
can
you love
just
music.
Go all out. An EP, you think of, 4 to sort of 5, 6.
So it's like a Scotch tasting platter.
Yeah, you could say
The
that.
equivalent I've got in my head now.
Yeah, it's kind of like we're on our way to an album, but then just got impatient and wanted to release something, so we got this out.
Right, okay. Oh, okay, I like that. So are you working on an album at all?
Well, actually, Like a Child began in my mind. It was conceived as an album.
Right.
I had a track list of about 10 songs, and obviously 6 of them didn't make the cut.
Is that because you work as a perfectionist, essentially? You will trim away the fat, as it were.
Well, it was a number of factors. One of them was that I was impatient, and I just wanted to get some more momentum into my original music, career, if you can call it that. So, let me just get 4 songs out there, generate some momentum, and yeah.
This is the thing I've noticed about modern society.
Yeah.
Everyone's impatient, so not just the artists themselves, but the listeners are impatient, so they want something quicker as well. They'd rather 4 new songs to come out than waiting all the way for a full album.
Yeah, well, if it was an album, it would only be coming out in a few months' time, probably like end of this year.
Right,
so,
okay.
Yeah, I can't wait that long,
so
thank
I
you.
just wanted to get something out there. I think as well, the way people listen to music now on streaming services, they're more inclined to create a playlist with 1 or 2 songs from various artists.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
true, yeah.
Not as
I
many
think that's what I've done.
not as many old school listeners who will literally go from track 1 to track 12 without stopping.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the police...
Sorry, the police have discovered that I'm here.
They the Kinder Surprise theft.
Oh, no!
No, I'm safe. I have the statue of limitations at home.
Statue of limitations.
I'm going to close that door. Hold on.
Oh, wow.
I stole mine in South Africa, so...
Yeah, I guess unless the police from another country take their jurisdiction to the... Yeah, that's going to be a whole political thing right there.
What's the police in South Africa called?
The SAPD, South African Police Department.
Oh, okay. No, I meant like in... It's Afrikaans.
Oh, in Africa. Policie.
Policie. There you go. That's a word that if you're ever in South Africa and you need the police, it is policie.
I mean, people probably would know what you meant if you said police, considering it's almost the exact same word.
Probably, I don't know. I've never been to South Africa. I can't comment. So
Yes.
back to the EP. So that's being released this Thursday.
This Thursday.
And where is it being released?
It is being released at a wonderful coffee shop cafe in Marawa called 115 Collective. They're actually putting on a special menu for the night with some gourmet gourmet pizzas.
Oh, that's cool.
There'll be amazing coffee available.
Is it going to be a special pizza called the Already Home?
Ooh. Because when you eat it, you're definitely home.
Yeah,
Any pizza, I love pizza.
you get that unmistakable feeling of being home. It's like the Simple Ricks or whatever from Rick and Morty.
Sprinkled with the idea of home. It's just bits of chopped up couch, essentially.
I don't want to eat that now.
Too bad.
It's just a pizza with a welcome home mat on it.
It's got like bits of dirt and leaves, dried up leaves. Yep,
Okay.
a lot of sand.
I was going to say, we're going to deter people from wanting to come along, but I guess...
The pizza will be delicious.
That's why we're not organising the pizza.
Yeah.
No, I know 115 Collective. Delicious coffee and fantastic food. It's brilliant.
It is.
So even if you have no sense of hearing, you can still come along and enjoy the experience.
You can taste the music.
You can, taste the music.
Did I just say something like musical there or something?
Oh,
like
wow.
that? I don't know.
This is profound.
Oh, profound. Yeah, I mean,
It's tasteful.
I like
So
it.
you've written a lot of songs. What's your secret? Do you go somewhere to write music? Do you have a special notepad and that's where all your songs go? Or does it just come to you like that?
Yeah, well, in a very... I I don't know. My phone is quite central, actually, to my songwriting.
Oh, really?
Unfortunately, I'm not cool, and I don't have a notebook.
You're not a hipster.
I'm not a hipster. I don't have a notebook where I write my lyrics in because I find it quite inconvenient to.
I write my slam poetry in like a pocket note. No, not really.
Yeah, no, I don't. I have it. I literally just use the notes app.
Oh, nice.
So
yeah.
as I'm writing lyrics, it's like, yeah, cool. I don't like that. Delete. Type in the actual one, or voice notes for recording ideas.
That's cool. I like that. So where do you, overall, so when you're writing music, where do you draw inspiration from?
Where do I draw inspiration from? Well, I guess lyrically, it's always, I think music and songwriting is kind of an alternative world that you can escape to and make sense of the world that you're in. Right. If that makes sense. So
yeah, no, definitely.
It's kind of like writing songs enables you to put into words or music things that your mind couldn't have processed and worked through any other way.
Different language entirely.
Yeah, so it helps you to process life. And just kind of... And I found that actually some of the songs in this EP probably couldn't have been written if I hadn't written other songs that no one will ever hear.
Oh, wow.
Kind of like, you have to write this song in order for that issue to be worked through so that then you understand that and then you can write this song, that kind of thing.
Right, okay.
I like the use of music as not escapism, but like kind of escapism, like not with the end goal of just running away from your problems, but like the end goal of taking a step back.
Oh, my bills. I'm just going to go write another song.
Yeah, no.
But you could use that worry of the bills to channel that into the music.
I got bills.
Yes, someone literally did that.
We're going to play you a song, Josh.
Okay.
We're going to play you a song we've already made.
Great.
Yep. It's called Running Away.
Yeah, and we want your opinion on it.
Will it make me do that?
Yes. So I'm holding you down now. Our listeners, it is on SoundCloud. It's not on Player FM, which is our preferred hosting site. But it is on SoundCloud, and SoundCloud's free, so you go check it out. It is dreadful. Absolutely horrific, and I love it with a fury.
Oh, man.
Running Away, 100% improvised.
Yes.
No, it is. Oh, yeah. So what we did, right? So just to give our audience an idea for why this song is so dreadful, we had a guest on, Frankie, and we each came up with a line of lyric, or 2 lines of lyrics, technically, independently from one another. So we had no idea what the other person was writing. And then it came to, they made some like weird music beat or whatever. So I'm just like, they sang theirs, I sang mine. And John did some wizardry and made this song.
Okay.
So you'll have to let us know what you think and whether it'll be coming out on your latest album. The way this game is going to work, we're each going to write one line of the verse.
We can do commentary.
What I haven't told you guys is you're all to write it down in your phone, and then we're going to combine it together with no context.
I was walking down City Mall, saw 2 body bags next to a white van. All of us say, do you kill him, chillin'? They said, sure.
Just because I'm alone on the sea, I find myself unable to pee.
Yeah, all me.
That's when I realized there was a zombie chasing me, running away. Daddy, please, Daddy Trump.
That's awesome.
Our apolitical podcast.
You'll understand in a second.
Daddy, please, Daddy Trump. Running away.
Let's just review some of the song we have. Buddy's leaning next to in body bags, next to a van.
Hello, City Mall. You killing, we chillin'.
We've got someone alone on the sea and finding himself unable to pee. You've got a zombie sneaking up behind them. You've got storms raining down on somebody and it smells like falafel mint.
And that's when I realized there was a zombie chasing me, running away. Daddy, please, Daddy Trump.
So good.
Running away.
That auto-tune effect sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Only thing that makes it sound remotely possible.
I turned it up to 100%. All the knobs. I'm running away.
We've just reached a new low. Oh my, that was brilliant. Loved it. Loved every second of it. Brilliant. So that was our song "Running Away."
Wow.
Yeah. So we do expect royalties when you put that on your album.
Yes.
Which is definitely going to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh my, that was listening back.
Yeah.
Horrifying. Oh, John did.
Sounds like an interesting songwriting methodology.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it's horrible. But
Very collaborative.
oh yes, yeah. Definitely three of us in that. There was body bags, falafel meat rain. You know, all the staples of a classical song.
Is it vegan falafel?
As the very first words of this podcast were, "We don't need to worry about vegans listening to the show," and that is from him. That's from John.
Yes, the ironic thing is I actually eat vegan like most days out of a week now, just out of convenience and out of dietary requirements. So I am the vegan that listens to our podcast.
There you go.
Not really.
No, actually, I know of one other.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, to that actual vegan, I apologize for just trying to claim that I was a vegan.
I'm not a vegan, but I'm a reducitarian.
All right.
Ooh, is that a real word? Or are you
I
making
think
that
so.
up? Okay.
I reduce the amount of meat and dairy that I eat.
I don't eat red meat
Yes.
because I have hemochromatosis,
Okay.
which is glorious. My body has excessive amounts of iron, and I've got to give blood so I don't die.
Wow.
It's fantastic. Well, no, it's not, because it means, I'm fine, and it's not contagious or anything like that, or else they wouldn't take my blood. No, like, I've got this condition where my body produces all this iron, and I have to give it to people who, like the Red Cross, for instance, and they give it to people who need it because it's so rich in iron.
So no matter what Adam does, in order to survive, he has to be nice to people.
So in the event of an apocalypse,
I'm not going to need iron in my dietary requirements.
That's handy. And if you do happen upon a lot of red meat, if we need to do a blood transfusion in a pinch, you've got a lot of spare.
I do, and because I have to give blood every month and a half, essentially, my body, I think my body can produce red blood cells faster because my body has learnt to create it faster because I'm giving it away quite often. So,
Wow.
Yeah, Doom. Wow. Back to music, ladies and gentlemen.
I just assumed this was a new topic now.
So that was our song. What would you rate that?
out of
Let's be kind and go out of 10.
out of 10.
But so 0 is, I wish I never heard that, and 10 is, well, I suppose it wasn't a complete waste of time.
10 was, this should get an ARIA award.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's probably a solid
I feel,
half a point.
I feel enriched after listening to that.
Wow. John, we've got a career.
He just realized that no matter what he does, every song he writes from now on will be better than that one.
Yeah.
So that's how he enriched his
It
life.
was a self-esteem booster.
Yeah, they're just like, wow, these guys are dreadful. It's literally, sorry, so...
How about I give it apocalyptic out of 10?
Oh, okay.
Because that's good.
Yep.
That's a meme.
And that's also a real good dodge, so I'll allow it.
Well done. Yep.
Very good. You're actually heading out to the USA in a couple of months, is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah, what are you doing over there?
So I'm going to work with an organisation over there called YWAM. Mm-hmm. And they do all sorts of outreach work.
Hilarious name.
Yes. YWAM.
Are they related to the band Wham?
Well,
that did...
they're basically a group that dislike Wham. So they're like, why Wham? Like,
Why Wham?
Wake me up before you go.
It's
Terrible
actually-
song.
Okay, so
That was not views that I just expressed, not the views of John. I actually love that song.
so when you said YWAM the first time, when we were chatting before, in my head, right, it created like this weird neural pathway.
okay.
Because you know how I said, I think I've heard of YWAM before.
Yes.
I hadn't. My mind decided to create the neural bridge between the YMCA
Okay.
and Wham the band. Obviously, music making connections. So I'm literally just going, there's got to be something there. Maybe I have heard of it, but no, it's completely different. So you're going to be going over to the USA,
Yes.
with this YWAM,
Yes.
and doing outreach work as a musician.
Yes, I'm joining them as a musician. So we're based in the USA for a few months, and then they send us to a few other nations, such as Vietnam,
Wow,
Ethiopia.
that's going to be crazy.
Yeah, and a few other places, yeah.
We'd
So
love to interview you when you get back, just to hear some crazy
Yes.
stories, if you're willing to come back.
I would love to.
That would be fantastic, actually.
Yeah.
That'd be real good. So, when are you releasing your EP out on any streaming services?
Yes, all of them.
Excellent, because I don't use streaming services
Yes.
essentially. So, fine, wonderful, lovely listeners, as you hear my voice, and you're sitting in your car or in your office or walking the dogs or perhaps running, you poor thing. If you're doing any of these things and you think to yourself, yes, I need something in my life. I need something to uplift, to bring me some hope. Then,
Why did the voice sound so evil?
I don't know, because
Okay.
I'm evil.
All right, go on.
Yes, I need this. I will buy and listen to...
Like a child?
Why did you put the like a child?
What? No. So what I wrote on the instructions
You have
was
failed me, John.
the Like a Child EP. Mm-hmm. Sure.
I see. So, yes.
It made sense in context of the whole sentence.
Okay, well, evidently not in my sentence.
But I trapped Adam.
Yes.
Okay, so the EP.
EP, I need like a child. And you will love it, believe me. I've already been to the future where you have gotten this, and your life has been enriched, just like Josh's has been, by listening to our terrible song.
I'm 10% happier.
There you go. Except listening to Like a Child will make you at least a guaranteed 15.7% happier. Scientifically
Yes.
proven.
Money back. No, I don't know what I'm
Money
saying.
back guaranteed. Money will not be returned.
No refunds.
No refund. If you do not find yourself at least 15.7% happier, please see your attorney.
There should be some way of. There should be some like indemnity form that listeners have to sign before listening.
Oh, brilliant. It's time, ladies and gentlemen. I've given John enough time of practice and devotion to this, which I know he's been studying diligently. It's the Evil Laugh update. At an echo. No. So.
Don't add more editing.
No, it's all right. So, Josh, we're going to get you in on this as well. Because evil laughs are fun, and I'd love to hear
Yes.
it. And Priscilla's evil laugh as well.
Okay.
All right. So, John, you had a pretty atrocious evil laugh before.
Hey! Okay, I admit, yes,
It was
I did.
horrible. It was like listening to a cat choke on, I don't know, a golf ball. It did not sound right in the slightest.
I mean,
Trying to imagine that.
That's essentially your evil laugh. Oh, right. So, we need the update, okay? So, I want you to take a moment, right? Just take 30 seconds. Take 10, actually, because we don't have that much longer.
oh yeah.
Close your eyes, take a couple of deep breaths, and harness that shadow. Josh, you get in on this too. That deep, evil core inside of you. Just imagine, okay, you have the hero chained down, right? Villain style, and there's a laser beam coming towards him. You need to channel that laugh that's going to bubble up from within.
Well, I'm not sure if this will work for me, because I need something that's more relatable. So we need to go with the most evil thing I've ever done, which I think was just today. I started making a coffee because I didn't realize that someone was waiting for the coffee machine. I didn't see them there. They were talking to someone else, and I jumped the queue by accident. So
yeah, you see, that's my co-host, ladies and gentlemen. That's the most evil thing he's done.
So I'm just feeling regret now, not evil laughter. I don't think this is working.
Wow.
I can't believe I did that.
You just need to focus the Kinder
I'm
Surprise.
stunned. Yeah, I've got to channel my Kinder Surprise.
All right, John.
All right, I'll go first because I'm sure Josh's will be better, and we need to end on a high note.
All right.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, Priscilla maybe.
Priscilla might be the high note. Brilliant.
Okay, ready?
All right, John. Channel.
Yes, I get
Remember.
to use the coffee machine
Remember.
first. channeling.
Brilliant. Oh, that's the most evil thing you could do. I love it. Remember, Less is more with you, okay?
Yeah, because I tend to just start going, and it just doesn't. No, it's not evil.
Cat, golf ball.
Cat, golf. No. Coffee machine.
Coffee machine.
Wait, no, there's something else. Mr. Bond is in the machine that it's about to, like, do something evil. Okay. Whoa. Oh. Yeah, it's not great.
A marked improvement
Okay.
on previous ones. So we'll come back, but
Okay.
I want you to extend it out. I want it to be deeper. I want it to be
Okay.
An introverted villain.
yeah. He's like, I don't want to go outside, but I am stroking my cat while the world burns. Yes.
All right, Josh.
All right, Josh.
Oh, my turn.
Let's
okay.
give Josh.
Okay,
Let's get this evil laugh. Yeah,
Kinder Surprise. Kinder Surprise.
Oh, wow.
Classic villain. I'm seeing like the train tracks, the train tracks with like the dams all tied
Yes.
down and him, tweaking his mustache.
Yes, that was 5-year-old Josh with the Kinder Surprise.
Does Priscilla want to go? Is she finished with the coffee?
Priscilla.
The Wicked Witch of the West. Thank you, Priscilla. Yes, I don't know why I'm
Not her real name.
Oh, yeah.
Right, okay. So let's try with my evil.
All
one.
right. This is going to be good.
No. That's the gremlin. Okay.
That was quite good.
Good.
Whoa.
Josh is getting
That
scared.
was deep.
Yes, this comes to the end of tonight's episode.
You can find us at Surviving the Apocalypse, the Nerds Way.
Yes, indeed.
Everywhere.
Yeah, pretty much all the social networks. We're even on Stitcher now.
Oh, are we?
Yeah,
High
how
five.
cool is that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just go to facebook.com/thenerdsway, twitter.com/thenerdsway_pod, twitter.com/voice of Adam is his, thenerdsway@gmail.com, blah, blah, blah. Don't forget to vote coronal mass ejection versus the grey goo.
Mm-hmm.
Will we die from the sun exploding or from computers taking over is
What?
the basic.
Let's get our first vote.
Ooh, yes,
Okay,
Josh,
so
what do
Josh.
you think?
So,
Computers taking over.
yeah. Nanotechnology. You hear that, Tyson? That's a vote for me. Boom.
I feel like I may have over-summarized the two
No,
options
that's good enough.
there.
Shh.
I'm sorry, Tyson from Screen Review Time Warp, if you're listening.
So, all right. Where can we find, or where can our listeners, because I know where to find you. I've got a tracker in your car. But where
That's another evil laugh from you then.
where can our listeners find you?
You can find me on all the streaming platforms, Spotify, iTunes, but social media wise, just Josh Blackwell on Facebook. Yeah.
You're not on Twitter? Don't like Twitter?
I'm not on Twitter.
No, that's fair.
I'm not on Twitter. I don't twit.
Tweet.
Tweet.
No, I did the same thing before.
At Josh D Blackwell on Instagram. Yeah, just search Josh Blackwell on any streaming website. But be noted that there is a DJ, Josh Blackwell,
Oh, really?
who has rather inappropriate, explicit album artwork, and it is not me.
Yeah, if you're wondering, it's like, I didn't think he sounded like this kind of person.
Yeah, let's just go, look at it, just be like, wow. Josh, good gracious, let's listen to this. Okay, so
Not me.
No. So your two EPs that you have out are Cry of a Nomad and
The Like It. No, I'm just kidding. Like It show.
That's about, I'm murdering you when this is sorry. So yes, I'm glad that you've come on. It's been a wonderful experience.
It's been great.
And I'm sure our listeners will love to hear that music. And that music, yes, I've devolved into an 80-year-old talking internet speak again. Fantastic. And
Good.
I think that's it for the show, isn't it, John?
Yes, we've gone ridiculously far over time. We were just having way too much fun.
It's good. I thoroughly enjoy it personally. And it's great to have a consummate professional as our esteemed guest.
But I didn't make the cut for your Apocalypse team.
No, you are. You're the bard.
Oh, that's right.
There you go.
I am.
Yeah.
Which probably means that I'm kicked out because I was
that's-
only in because of my farming and
The
a
music.
little bit of music as well. So I needed both. And now there's,
You have kicked him out, essentially.
not good to be a jack
His
of all trades.
wife's, like, guaranteed a spot. She's the chronicler.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, so thank you for listening to...
Oh yeah, we're ranting again.
Well, thank you for listening to Surviving the Apocalypse, The Nerd's Way. If you have any questions, ask someone else. Good night! He adds like little weird bits at the beginning, and he used to do it at the end, but he's gotten lazy.
All right, you're editing this one.
Yeah, all right.
It's never coming out.
What's the name of J-R-R Tolkien?
I believe he was South African. Or I might be mistaken.
Really?
I think you might be mistaken.
Orange Free State.
Yes, that's in South Africa.
Wow, there you go.
Bloemfontein.
Oh,
No,
right.
I think. I'm pretty
So
sure.
you're related to...
I'm related to Joe.